Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Your host, the Raven here, bringing you some Spelunky action. This time, we're going to the worm again. We're going back to the worm. This time, we're going to do the Ice Caves worm. Subtle changes in enemies, subtle changes in layout make it a much more difficult experience. The jungle worm, is its own beast. Just every level in Spelunky, the mines, the jungle, ice caves, the temple, the worm, every area is its own hidden beast, and the ice cave worm is no different. So anyway, to get inside, we have the worm tongue. I believe you need the damsel. The damsel can be dead. Unfortunately, I found that out. They don't have to be alive, but you need the damsel's body at least to trigger the tongue. Whereas you, however, you won't trigger it by yourself, no matter how long you stay in there. So anyway, we have to go find her, and here she is. I've forgotten for a while that you could pick up these mines, but picking them up disarms them, and that's so useful. That's such a useful trick. Like I say, each area is its own beast, so just learning the ropes of every place and what to do with each item and trap, each monster, how to do each layout and platform, each jump. So anyway, I know I'm close to the tongue, so I'm grateful for that, because sometimes it can be very difficult to get the damsel, or the tongue could be like very far away. So anyway, but we're successful. I like the roaring and the gulping. It's so awesome. So anyway, we get a kiss from the damsel, which is very useful and necessary. Because I mean, it's the worms. Yeah, all right. I love the beat, love the music. Damsel early. I decided early on, because the worm is so difficult and dangerous, that I wasn't going to rescue the damsel, because it's enough to get yourself through. So anyway, double whip that pot, get rid of that snake. Bacteria, the main thing about the worm is patience and timing. You have to just patience, timing, and then swift action when it is time to move, because the bacteria come from nowhere. They backtrack, rotate, flip around just when you think you're clear. Here they come. They are the most dangerous enemy in the worm, and probably, I don't want to say in the game, because I've been killed by a lot more things, but they're just as a hazard. Like other enemies, like if you see them, it's like, okay, you don't really think of them as a hazard. You think of them as more of just an enemy. If it's a blue frog or a bat or a spider or a caveman or whatever have you. You just say, oh, okay, this is guy, let me kill him. And then you look around, you pay attention to the other traps. But these bacteria, they're both an enemy and a hazard at the same time. So it's like they're doubly dangerous. And the only way to get rid of them is to either slay them with the crit. You have the ability to slay them outright, or just avoid them. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to be avoiding. So there is an item called the Christ knife, or Christ knife. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not sure. Crysknife. It replaces your whip, and it's super sharp. It one-shots, I think, anything made out of flesh. That's useful. In this video, I'll obtain it. But right now, we're just ducking down, looking. You have to know what's going on below you, because if a blind jump of faith or things of that nature will result in your death. Because I mean, look at those spikes to my right, and then down here you have that acid, which I chucked a bomb down there thinking to drain the pool, but I hear it continually pop. I'm like, what the hell? What happened? So I don't know what happened to that bomb, where it went, because that pool is still there, because those bubbles are dangerous. Now the water is also dangerous. You can get in it and it won't kill you outright, but it is like digestive juice, so it will damage you over time. And just any slip up, falling in the water, ducking the bacteria, losing a jump, missing a jump, or losing hold of a rope, or trying to avoid a skeleton like this right here. These flesh blocks, these are super dangerous. These cell blocks I'm about to whip, like, and I whipped it and tried to throw the bomb because I wanted to drain that digestive fluid. And look at that. See, it's just you have to stay on your toes with the worm. But anyway, things are about to get a lot easier because I got the Christ knife. I call it Christ knife. That might not be the right way to say it, but that's how I say it. So anyway, watch it make juice out of that bacterium. And now the danger with the Christ knife is the fact that you can become overconfident. You're like, oh, I could kill the bacteria now. They're the most dangerous thing inside the worm. But just because you can kill one, you can still get double teamed. Situations can happen. So as you can see here, I'm waiting patiently for this one to track around. Once you know how they operate, it makes it a lot more easier to avoid them on the platforms. You know that they have to adhere to whatever wall they're on. They can't switch. They can't hop from platform to platform or make jumps. It's like either they're on it or either they touch it or they don't. So some they rotate around the block. Others go along the walls and surfaces of the worm. Having the knife makes it way easier. You could just kill the ones that are on a free block. And that way you don't have to worry about the wall crawling bacteria, because the wall crawling bacteria are overwhelming very easily, very quickly. As you can see, if I had went down for that crate, I might have been overwhelmed in there. So, and plus the knife, it's not a continuous shot. Like, there is a brief moment, and if there's two bacteria that are almost together, you might kill one, and then the second one will hit you. So the knife doesn't make you invincible. So you have to keep that in mind and always keep safety first. Patience, because you just don't know what's below you. And I found in the ice cave worm that there seems to be greater fall distances or drop distances than in the jungle worm. So, there's one thing to watch out for. Also, the alien saucers, like, those things are insane. Like, they're the second most dangerous thing inside the worm, because killing them can kill you just because the saucer explodes on after it makes contact, after you jumped on it, and then it's like the little alien baby could grab you too. So, and some bacteria have the oddest pattern, but just because of the shape of the walls or the shape of the island they're rotating on, or the block of flesh they're rotating on, it's like you. And sometimes one of them can make you think there's two of them, and two of them can seem like three, and then sometimes three of them can just seem like there's only one. But then it's like you say, well, I'm gonna get this ruby, I'm gonna get this emerald or gold, and then all of a sudden, you're getting killed, you're panicking, you're rushing, and you're dying because the bacteria just come out of nowhere. So this one I'm waiting for, and see, that's pretty good right there. But I've had problems with really close calls where they could just double team you and you will take a hit. So far so good though. I've only taken one, and that's when I landed on a bacteria trying to kill that first saucer there. So anyway, ain't no sense in to not make money. If it's risk free, get it. You know what I mean? And risk free is very loose term when you're in the worm. So be careful of that. These worm sects I really hate. If you can get up to them and kill them, you can destroy the worms inside them before they hatch. But if you don't make it in time, or you're too far away, something like that, the worms will pop out. The worms aren't too difficult. They run back, they traverse whatever block of flesh they're on or platform they're on till they reach the edge and turn around. If they're on a single block, they'll just stay facing one way. And you just jump. You can pounce on them to kill them, or you can use your knife or your whip. The thing about them though, if you don't kill them, they will follow you down the worm, and they can land on your head and stuff like that, or they could get below you and make landings in difficult. So very tricky in their own right. But anyway, here we are. We finally made it to the entrance. Just carefulness, patience, knowing the enemies, and knowing what to expect really help out. So anyway, I'm your host, The Raven. Thank you for watching. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, I encourage you to do so. Thank you for watching, and everyone have a great day.